Hi there, welcome back to the third installment of my car game project. I've continued to work on this game behind the scenes and have been trying to tweak a lot of different settings to get the car feeling right. I think I've finally got to a point where I can focus on other crucial parts of the game. In today's devlog, I'm going to be focusing on the car's collision system and how we will portray the damage to the player. So, let's get started. In video games, the player always needs an incentive, whether it be achievements or just personal satisfaction. It's not hard to look back through history to find these. If we look at Valorant and Rocket League, they are executed very well. The achievement could be winning a game or achieving a new rank, which is what drives the player to continue playing, or the satisfaction of a headshot and demoing another car, which keeps the player hooked. BeamNG is a game made solely for car collisions. People spend hours crashing cars because of the satisfaction. This is what I would like to replicate in my game. There are so many ways to create a satisfying experience for the user which I would like to explore. However, due to me going for a more arcadey approach, making the collisions too realistic would contradict the game's style, so I need to make sure I keep it simple. For now, I'm going to be using morph targets. Morph targets are used to alter neutral meshes to change their appearance. They're generally used on faces in games to avoid hard animating facial expressions. They use two keyframe meshes and then interpolate between them. In Blender, we can alter the car's mesh to make it look dented and damaged. We can then import this mesh into Unreal Engine and it will automatically know where the morph targets are applied to the mesh. We can then preview what each morph target will look like in a normalised value. Now that we have our morph targets for each side of the car's body, we need to allow these to be changed on collision in runtime. Firstly, we need to find out where on the car the collision took place using dot product. We can do this by splitting the car into two axes, an X and a Y. The X will tell us whether the collision happened to the front or the back, and then the Y will tell us whether it was to the left or the right. We can then take these normalised values, and depending on whether they are 1 or -1, we can apply the damage to that particular side. We can now see that when the player collides with the environment, the mesh of the car changes and we can visibly see the damage. I'm a firm believer in minimal UI and giving feedback to the player in the world space. However, in the future it may be useful to add a car damage indicator for quick information on the car's health. I also like the idea of having bits of the car fly off after damage. However, this may cause too much realism, but it's definitely something I'm considering. Although we now have our car's mesh getting damaged, the collision still feels quite flat. Therefore, I'm going to add some sparks for added effect. I've quickly mocked up an Niagara particle system which will spray out random coloured particles which resemble sparks. I've also added a parameter to the size of the particle system, which will then be affected by the force of the collision. After adding it, we can see that heavier collisions create more and bigger sparks, whereas smaller collisions create less sparks. So after adding a little bit of camera shake, this is the end product for the collisions update. Visually we are getting there, however in the future I still need to add some sound. I'm yet to decide on the style of game I want to make, so adding sounds will have to wait. I will spend a bit more time refining my game idea and ironing out some of the details that I want. In the next episode, I will then explore my options and get a proper plan in place. As always, if you like where this project is heading and care to leave some feedback and suggestions, please do in the comments. Also, if you want to follow along, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my devlogs. So, thanks for watching.